Burlark, hello. Mobile Twitch, let's hope it can keep up. Looking after the little monsters, aka my nephew and niece. Aww. Well, I hope so too. Yeah, so I was sitting here during the startup and was just thinking of there's a part of me that really wants to just do more iterations on this and keep working with it. And that's a constant battle, it really is, of just wanting to like keep exploring a piece and like testing things out and really never settling. But I think that's also a problem with me personally. Like I just want to keep working with it. And that mainly stems from not knowing all of the Elder Scrolls lore, like a crazy lore buff. I'm afraid I might be missing. I can relate, right? I think it's just every creative's issue. It's just you want to keep working on it. And you don't want to become jaded and just be like, out the door, everything out the door. You gotta find some kind of balance. But yeah, Dark Brotherhood lore, like how I feel like I need to go back to the Night Mother stained glass and add in like a spider web or something to kind of pay homage to the myth that she might actually be Mephilia, I think. Mephilia? I've never said it really out loud much, so I don't know if that's the proper pronunciation for that Daedric prince, but so I think, I mean, overall, you got the Black Hand and you got skeletons, so it kind of is very much like obvious, like death cult. Like, I mean, it's Mephala. Yeah, that sounds better. Mephala. And I don't know if I can really push it beyond that or what. And the designs around it are very much just pleasant visuals. They don't really mean much of anything. And I always like to have everything have a purpose beyond just visual clutter, because, you know, I mean, sometimes you need to have that texture, you need to have that visual interest. But it'd be nice if it'd be more symbolic overall. Anyway, just my feelings. So I was looking at what it looks like in game, and I think this was without the ENB, and my ENB doesn't really change colors. So bonus points if you add a little Easter egg towards the rival with the Morag Tong. Yeah, like I really feel like I need to go back to the stained glass at some point and just like do a new iteration where I just add more lore to it, because I started with that because that's where I felt most comfortable with, like, as an art project. But I've learned a lot more about the Dark Brotherhood, and I've kind of gotten more of a feeling of what I want this whole thing to look like when it comes together. Because, like, I can visualize things pretty well in my head, but I can't, like, account for everything during development from start to finish. What I end up with when it's fully polished, it slowly comes into focus. It slowly gets visualized as I go. So I don't have everything planned out, obviously. And as it crystallizes, I feel like there's going to be updates needed to the stained glass more and more, and probably tweaks, as I said, with the assets. Once I have it all together, I probably will be going back to the banners and tweaking this and tweaking that, just to make everything cohesive. I know with the circular stained glass, I want to have some kind of symbolic play on the fall of the Dark Brotherhood with that betrayal with Astrid and everything. So that's like their most recent history. Maybe even just like the fall of the Dark Brotherhood in general, and then the rebirth of it. But I still would love to pay homage to that original sanctuary you started out with. I don't know how much of it I'm going to get into the circular stained glass, but I'd like to get as much as possible in there, because that's going to be dedicated to recent history. The other ones, I'm still like, this is the Dreadfather, this is the Night Mother, this is our little ritual that people do for a murder, and this is us as an institution. So Yeah. I've been trying to work more and more with symbolic art, because you can have like very, this is straight up, this is what it is kind of art. And you can have like crazy stuff that makes no sense in normal physics or colors or anything, and it's just, it tells its own emotional story, and I just kind of want that. I showed that off a little bit in the last stained glass that I did, where I was just like, I'm gonna just go out there with visuals and make the stained glass work later. Which I still don't know if that's really the smartest choice, but it did turn out okay in the end. So this is, I'm wondering, is the black hand a Cyrodiil only thing? Nah, the black hand is like the Dark Brotherhood signature, because it shows up in Cyrodiil, Skyrim, ESO. That was kind of like their new symbol, like, because I don't really know what Morag Tong's symbol is, but then the Dark Brotherhood kind of defected off of that, and they had their own brand. They had to make their own brand, essentially. And it's based on, like, the Black Hand being the leadership of the Dark Brotherhood, so it makes sense. But I think it's kind of cool, the idea that the Night Mother is actually Mephalia, or related to her in some way. I mean, it kind of makes no sense with, like, the dead body of the Night Mother over there, but magic is weird. Because as far as E4 201 goes, there's no real Black Hand members besides the Listener and the Caretaker. Well, I'm sure, like anything, it had to go through iterations and changes. So they probably defected, and then they slowly made their own system of governance over time, and created a hierarchy and everything else. Like the tenants. Also, you got new info, so things will change. Plus, if I remember, you started wanting to change it after you were done with glass. Yeah, seriously, retconning is a serious thing in everything. I've learned more and more, and I'll continue to learn more as I go, and then I'm going to look back and go, oof, I want to change stuff. Morag Tong has an emblem, by the way. Oh, I'm sure it does. I just don't know it. I know very little about Morag Tong because I haven't played Morrowind. Still waiting on Skywind so I can play it with a controller. I'm the worst. I mean, I guess I could play vanilla Morrowind on console. Right, so in-game, this looks very orangey, and I'm sure the light source here has something to do with that. Yeah, because that looks more red, but that's in the dark. I don't think I have any good pictures of the new one. Or maybe this is. No, this has the lines in it. I think this is all we've got to go on. So I want to kind of give it more depth in terms of shadows and highlights, the color differentiation between these. So that is what we doing. I'm gonna go up here in this part of the folder and try to do some color balancing with our shadows and our highlights. Oof, oh my goodness. This is gonna be a thing. Oh, they're gonna be pink. They're gonna be pink now. Okay, it's gonna look real weird. Trust me, I got layer masks. I can work on that in a bit. Another color balance, because we're gonna do the highlights here, and I'm keeping it separate, even though like one layer can do all of the things. I'm keeping them separate so that I can reveal them separately. Okay. Do this. Shadows. This one. Dang it! Layer mask. Oh, that's actually... That's... I didn't realize they could do that. Oh, man. Feathering. Oops. Feathering. That's very helpful to know that that does that. I've never bothered to double click on the layer mask before. Or maybe I have, but I've totally forgotten that that's a thing. I know you can feather your selection, but okay. Anyway. Highlights. If I remember correctly, the Marg Tong is basically like any other guild. Cities have guild halls with a guild hall master assigned to it, and then you've got the head, the Grand Master. It makes sense. It also kind of makes sense to me that Morrowind would be fairly uniform with the way that it with like approved guilds in government, like how they would be conducted with Grand Masters and guild halls and stuff. Okay, we want to really bring out the red, I think, in the highlights. All right. Display toggle, don't have to reset the drivers, blessed. Turn off our pressure sensitivity for size. Make this a really nice and soft airbrush and we're good to go. Oh, also make sure this is on black and white. We're good to go. I'll just get rid of our shadows actually. I should have, hold on. Shouldn't just be painting that because I just made the brush really soft. We're gonna just fill that in with black and we're filling that in with black. Yeah. Oof. Okay. Hello. I can't. Okay. It's kind of annoying. I love being able to drag the canvas. Dang it. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit. Or a lot. Dang it. I like being able to drag the canvas wherever I like. Like with this, you can drag like it off screen. But at 100%, it's like, oh no, we're not gonna let you do anything. So if I do like 101, nope, still won't let me. I guess it has to be kind of off the screen a little bit, like cut. There we go. That's what I like to see. There we go. Marg Tong was not quite considered wanted criminals by the tribunal. Yeah, no, they were sanctioned by the government as far as I knew. They were like, it was totally okay to hire an assassin. Also, I don't really think that they have any considerable power out of Morrowind. No, I think like you said, they're kind of attached to Morrowind's culture because of those great houses. It kind of reminds me of Dragon Age with the whole great game that they have, and what's it called? I'm like seeing the word in my head and I can't remember it. Curse, this visual memory of mine. Or Lay. There's Morag Tong and ESO and the Morrowind DLC. You are helped by a Morag Tong member. I mean, you see them a little bit in ESO even without the DLC. Like, I think I helped one of them. I think she was a Morag Tong member when we went to Skyrim. Yeah, I basically just like said, okay, it should be purple now. Dear. Can we get... No, because it's just gonna go to black, pretty much. Yeah, that's a bummer. I'm not gonna be able to do color correction really on here. Maybe. really satisfied with my highlights so far. I think I'm gonna try that again. Also, you may encounter some Morag Tongans last time, and E4 201. I don't know my timeline. I'm assuming that's ESO. I believe you've got to be part of the Dark Brotherhood, and then some goons from the Morag Tong come and decide to annoy you. That's funny. Oops. That's not what I want. Just be a little less heavy-handed on the rainbow. Online takes place in 2E 500. Oh, wait, you said 4E. 4E is Skyrim, right? Yep, 4E is Skyrim. Okay. Okay. Oh, I had a brain fart. Because I was looking more at the year number than the era. So when, yeah, I don't know why I mixed that up, because E4, I know that to be Skyrim. I'm silly. Yeah, like first era stuff's all super crazy, like who knows what really went on, apparently, aliens and all that, and then it was second era as ESO. And then I think third era is where Oblivion is, and then fourth era is Skyrim. But I don't know any of like the numbers, like the year numbers. I don't know what takes place where. I actually have a little bit of a cheat sheet timeline for Dark Brotherhood just so that like I can refer to that as needed. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna look super spectacular or not, but it's a thing. Whereas... I'm gonna save this, export it, and take a look at it in game. See if the more purpley look is better or not. We need to go to my Skyrim folder. And under textures, where was it? It was under textures something. Let me look here. Integrate assets, textures, clutter. We don't want the this to be the normal map. So we just want that. Oakley dokley. Alright, so we have this picture, screen cap, and I'm gonna go in and get the other one. Online and Skyrim are only 48 years apart. What? What? I mean, now it suddenly makes a lot more sense in terms of like how people are acting and everything. But also there's so much that happens. Like, oh, we're all gonna be best friends, and then the Dark Brotherhood, not Dark Brotherhood, the Dark Elves, they just like turn around, it's like, I'm gonna enslave you. Argonians and Khajiit, okay, now you're not enslaved anymore. Within the span of 48 years. Wait, what? Oh, you corrected it. You missed a 900. Okay, alright. I feel so much better now. I was losing my mind. It's like, are you serious? Okay. 948 sounds a lot better. It makes a lot more sense. Because there was like so much going on. There's like no way. The war, everything. I'm like, are you kidding me? Was there some kind of dragon break to compensate for that? Everything happened. Salutations, Hyperbolic J. Skyrim non-special edition. Let's play it. I think I'm on the right thing, right? The monitor. You guys can hear music? Yes, we're good. Okay, let's play. Right, so I went into the creation kit for a hot second. So we can load up right in the area where the stained glass are, and I have the other assets that I'm gonna be immediately working on. There's other ones that I want to work on, like the beds and stuff, but I figure I might want to get a modder's resource model for those, so I might as well wait before sticking a bed in that tiny room. But now I can just like jump straight to here. Be glad I can't make you work out. Yeah. Back to lore. First was Dawn Era, creation of the world. Adrian, Daedra melding. Lorcan with his heart, creation of Mundus and Nirn, etc. Races evolved, unknown how long it lasted. Yeah, shit be cray. There was like, was it the Earth Bones? I don't know whose those were. One of the Aedra, I think. Okay. So this is our banner wiggling around. I really need to fix that. too textured for me. Too much texture. Also, the skeletons look like they have no real detail, when in Photoshop it looks like they have way more detail than that. So that's something to consider. Yeah, I think I like this better. It's a little bit more red. It's not like super cherry stained glass red. It looks a bit pink compared to that. And it does look a bit pink compared to the Tenets red. Oh, you know. I'm gonna actually try to package a retexture of this thing, by the way. It's kind of silly. It's kind of silly that they have that in there and you can't even like really read it. Like, thank you for this plaque where there's actual text on there, but it's impossible to read. So good. I'll leave like the original, I think, in here as like the old version of the sanctuary before you reinvigorate it, and then it will switch to the new texture when you make the sanctuary yours. It's another little thing that would be helpful. Yeah, it's a little too pink now, I think. Let's redden this baby up. And get rid of the texture. Let's see, was there anything else really? The purple shadows I think work pretty well, or purplish bluish shadows. Just punch up the red highlights and get rid of the texture to it. Which, I mean, a lot of that might be in the normal map. It looks like it's in the normal map, so. I remember complaining about that before. Yeah, I think that will be fine. Maybe make this a little bit more subtle. That noise should be fine. I don't know where the normal map is, out at the bottom. Bring this to the top here. Look at that texture. My goodness. That is harsh. I'm gonna grab this layer selection and I'm gonna make a new one of these layers and I'm going to mask it so we're only worrying about the banner area, and I'm just gonna blur this. It's the easiest way to get to what I really need quickly. Let's kind of smooth it out. Yeah, it's a shame they didn't keep this separate so I could just take the texture off and still have that sharper normal map for the folds, because now the folds are going to suffer too, but hopefully it won't be that much for me to really worry about it. we'll see. Now, if I save this as the DDS file, dang it, I didn't do it as a copy again. Alright, well, save, yes. I need this, well, yeah, because it does have an alpha layer because of the specularity, I think normal maps have the specularity in the alpha. I can't quite remember. So I think this is fine. I forget if it doesn't work out well with that output. You go here, textures, Dawnstar Reimagine. No, not Dawnstar. Clutter. And yeah, okay, good. That looks fine. Okay. Yeah. If this is specularity, shouldn't this be super shiny then? I don't know if... whatever. Whatever. Do you know anything about ESL files? No, I've never worked with them before. What are they? Do they have to do with like hair stuff or new Skyrim Special Edition magic? The Merithic era? Words I just don't say out loud. Durrani Tower, Crystal Tower, White Gold Tower were built. Oh, there are other towers? What? I only know the White Gold one because that's what all the wars are over. I want to see the Crystal Tower, and it better be made out of raw crystal. Rise of the Ayleid Dwemer spreading across northern Tamriel. Trimac? God dang it. Gets eaten and gets... becomes Malakath. Men appear in Tamriel, Dragon Wars. Eris speculates to have lasted around 2,500 years. There's so much there. There's so much chaos. This whole entire world's just filled with chaos. Province established themselves and do war for territory. Human slaves rise up against their Ayleid masters. Lots of political struggles. The way for the Tribunal of Marwyn gets paved. Battle of Red Mountain. 180-year-long dragon break happens. Human empire gets strong. First era lasts for like... See, like, that's so weird though. It's like, dragon break happens. It lasts for like 1,000, almost 2,000 years. And this is when everything happens and time has no meaning. And yet, civilization doesn't crumble. It's crazy. ESP that does not take up room in your load order. They are popping up in Fallout 4. I don't know how that would function in terms of Skyrim and what I know with Skyrim. And I know Fallout 4 is newer than Legendary Edition, which is what I really know. But Skyrim Special Edition did come out on the newer Fallout 4 engine. So, I don't know if it's very specific to Fallout or whether it's something that Special Edition can also like make use of. That's interesting though, because they need to make their edits with like specific numbers and letters, like that kind of code that you see when it's like add item in the console in Skyrim. Like you only have so many placements, so that's why you have that hard limit for ESP files, because otherwise it'll start rewriting itself. And like that's how it functions. So I'm not sure. It's fascinating. I want to learn more about it because I'm not sure how ESL files would handle that, where they make those kind of changes in the game engine, but the game engine isn't using those code combinations, essentially. The Dwemer disappeared some years before the second era of, or the end of the second era. I can read. I can read. Okay, turn those off. Save this as the actual Dawnstar Sanctuary PSD file. Cause yeah. Yes. They disappeared during the Battle of Red Mountain. Oh yeah. I vaguely remember that little factoid, but nothing else about it. So we got rid of the texture, and I wanted to pump up the red to be more red. Guess I could just wing it for now rather than go digging for the tenants stuff. Okay. Go into our hand box and just make that more of a red. Yeah, see, like, there's all this detail to the skeleton. And when you look at it in game, it's just so muddled. It's very strange. Yeah. There's a lot of, I guess, compression, even though this is not compressed at all. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's unfortunate. Also edit this base a little bit. Just change everything, it's fine. Intel texture works. Skyrim folder. And since I'm doing like these just really quick checks, that's why I'm not saving a copy to my integrated assets folder just yet. Gotta make sure I don't forget to, when I finally figure out exactly what I want, to put it in there. But for right now, I'm not going to do that extra step when it really means not much. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm not a modder, so how they work is beyond me. I just know I can get over the cap of 255. Modders are so great, the way they can just figure that stuff out. If that's like an actual mod file, that's amazing. Unless that's something that Fallout 4, like that generation of the creation engine does natively, then, you know, it's not as awe-inspiring, but still. Third era. The journey continues. Jagar Tharn does its thing. Elder Scrolls Arena and Daggerfall take place. Another dragon break, Warp in the West, or Manamarco, I think, becomes... He ascends into, like, godhood, but not really godhood. I don't know. Tribunal... Isay Kagrenix Tools. Is that a Dwemer? Morrowind takes place. 6 years later, Oblivion takes place. Death of Manamarco. Era ends third era 433. Yeah, Manamarco. Yeah, like I'm unclear on the lore with that, but I feel, oh dear. You are very shiny. I thought that was going to happen. Now I am proven right. That is what happened. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. It's very wet right now. I'm gonna fix the normal map. Kind of have to really tell what's going on here, but it's also very pixelated. It looks a little bit better against the reds you see here. Good lord. Okay, let's fix that normal map. Yeah, the Warp in the West, I thought one of the versions of that is Manamarco is like a god or something. I need to go into my folder here, and in banners, yes. Oh, dang it. Okay. Yeah, that is the wrong one. Here's my channels. But the alpha's gonna be helpful, I should think. I need to have two separate versions, definitely. Yeah, because I think I hacked up the normal map. Let me see. Alright, this is the original one. Put that in there, load it. Yep. Okay, it's not too bad. I can just take it from here. As far as the alpha goes. So I wanna copy that and I see. Making a backup of the alpha, just to have here, just like the normal map. It's gonna be clunky having this all in one file, but I'll just make it work. So here I want to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Smooth out that texture again. Very simply. So now we have the smoother specular with the proper appropriate transparency. So I'm going to select in here and I'm going to copy that. And then in our channels, I'm going to paste. So we have that now. Actually, I want to make that black first. I'm gonna make our alpha completely black. Right? And now I want to paste it again in place. Oh, that's the wrong one. Oh, should probably get rid of that. Or just move it over to the side because it's going to be confusing. Paste in place. That looks better. That's correct. Still very pixelated. Our head here looks about the same, so I'll leave them alone. Yeah, okay. That's what I should do. I will keep it separate. Because I'm just gonna be ruining the alpha and the normal, the diffuse. Don't mind me and my rambling back and forth as I try to sort this out most efficiently and how best I'm gonna remember things. Because it is trying. Hammerfell and more or less Morrowind remain autonomous. The Thelmar do have control over Black Marsh, Valenwood, and elsewhere. I didn't actually know about Black Marsh specifically, so that's interesting. File, save as. progress. Okay, so save. Okay. Now, if I go into this alpha that I just created, select all of it, copy it. Here. Dang it, you're not listening to me anymore. Paint the biggest paintbrush. Our alpha completely black. Go in here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Hold on a moment. Yeah, okay. Jerks. Okay, how am I gonna do this? So I want to select it based on what I'm seeing specifically. I don't think it's gonna let me do that. Because normally when you press Shift with Control C, you get this flattened image of what you're looking at. And here I'm just not getting that. Alpha's the worst. Yeah, because this is distinctly different than this alpha. I guess I could cheese it. Right? Right. Dang it. I'm making a mess of things now. All right, back it up. There it is. There's the alpha we want. Finally. More or less. More or less. So now I should be able to copy that, go into here and paste it. And now we'll have the exact alpha that we wanted. God, that took way too much effort. So I should be able to save this as our normal map. And I'm going to just save it again in the Skyrim folder. Here. And I'll see if this looks any good. I think this might be a little bit too bright. It might end up looking still like it's wet. I'm not really in tune with specular maps to really know what's going to be really shiny or not. I mean, like, obviously the whiter it is, the more shiny it is. But even though I've been doing this for so long with the stained glass and stuff, I'm still just like, woo, I don't know what I'm doing. Now this alpha is all messed up. Get rid of that. Keep that around, I guess. Because it's really probably all we really need on this alpha. Since it's a transparency based thing, I should be able to fill all of this with white and have it show up. That's what my brain says. Whether or not I'm right, I will be proven shortly. Then this we save as our Photoshop file. Save it. Okay. File save as our DDS file. Data folder. Clutter. Now I should be able to go into our data folder, meshes. Do we have it exported? We do not. I'm gonna go into our downloaded files. We have no moving banners and doors. I want to see this. Okay, Dark Brotherhood. Can I just click on it? Do I have to export it? I don't. Nice. Cool. Yeah, that's what I like to see. All right. I'm going to drag that out. Now, the way that this person did it was in an ESP file, so they have like their own subdirectory. And I don't exactly know where the mesh is in the original Skyrim directory. However, I'm going to just assume that it's similar to the textures here, where it's in meshes clutter. So banners, integrated assets. We have textures clutter, and it was called DB Door 01. I'm gonna go with that, but I don't know for sure. Well, no, it wouldn't be DB. Yeah, it would be something else, wouldn't it? Okay, I'm gonna have to open up and really find out what it's supposed to be called. figure 2 birds, 1 stone here, because I do want to replace the mesh. Nice thing is that we can take a look at it here without it wiggling. And you can tell that the mesh does work just fine, it seems. And it's not super shiny, which is great. It looks pretty normal, but we need to check it in game to really be sure 100%. Yeah, so we'll see. Let's open up the BASA op or BSA op. Always say it wrong in my head. And we're just going to check what our file is called. So I just need to open this and basically peruse it. I'm not unpacking anything. And we wait while it loads, cause it's gonna take a while. It's the whole entire game. Not really, just vanilla part of the game. And it's only the meshes. Ah. Da da da. All right. Clutter. I don't really need to show recursive because I only need to focus on here. We're looking for Dark Brotherhood. I see DA08 Ebony Key. That's certainly not what I'm looking for. That's disconcerting. Because if I can't just see it in here, that means that I have to go into the creation kit and load that up just to find out what it's supposed to be called. Pain in my butt. That's what that is. A pain in my butt. Well, maybe this is what it's supposed to be called, but maybe it's, oh, you know what? Banners. No, that's not it. We know that it has its own unique mesh because it has its own unique texture. It's not in there. It's not in here. God, that's so lame. Their naming convention stinks. Well, we're gonna take a shot in the dark and hope that this is the original name of the thing. But it not being in clutter is basically meaning that's not gonna work. I wonder if... They probably don't have it in the wiki what like the NIFs are and where they are, do they? That would be too easy. I need that. I need like a modder's resource for that, for looking up where, like what NIFs and textures are being used by what things. That would be a dream. Alright. Well, I guess I should probably get this out of here because I'm not going to be integrating it just yet. I'm not just going to throw it in there when it's in the wrong folder anyway, no matter how much I wish. Get in game then. And I can do some cleanup. Oh. Yeah, it really stinks sometimes for me where it's like, I feel like I'm just struggling trying to keep things straight in my head. I can be really good at keeping an overall picture straight in my head or remembering visuals of things, but like remembering workflows, it can be really hard. So I'm just like running around with a chicken with its head cut off going like, I think I kind of remember how to do this, and where does this go, and what does this do? Oh, I don't want that. Yeah, like so much of the way my mind works is like fuzzy logic and fuzzy memory, where if there's specific recall, and I mean specific, sometimes it doesn't work unless someone says the right thing or remember the right word, then it clears up that like area of data in my mind, if that makes any sense. Unless it's the visuals, because then it mostly just all comes back pretty clearly. Okay, so this looks normal. It looks like the normal map isn't changed. So I probably hacked that up. I'm gonna work on that. I might not have placed it correctly. Because it definitely doesn't look shiny anymore, but it definitely looks textured again. Yeah, I'm fighting between the desaturated look and the fact that like I want my red to be red, because like this is technically red, right? But it looks heckin' pink, and I know that lighting has a large part to do with it. Because when you go into your Vascar, it looks red. Everything like looks right together, and I want that for the Dark Brotherhood one. Can just be a little bit challenging for colors just to feel just right. But I'm getting there. So let's get rid of that. Nope. They're normal. Oh, I didn't make him fuzzy. That's why. Okay. We're okay. We're okay. I'm gonna drag this into this file. Set it up like that. And I'm going to save this as a Photoshop file. Actually, since I'm in here, I might as well save it as a legitimate. Hold on. That's this guy over here. Save that. Yes. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna save this as a Photoshop file back into here. Yeah, because that's not heckin' confusing. Save. That means I can close this and I can get rid of this normal map here, and I have my original alpha saved just for funsies. But all of those should be conforming now. So I think we're good. So that should fix that problem. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna just try that and see how that's going to look. File, save, and file save as. Not JPEG. I'm on autopilot. Textures, go into our not our clothing folder, but our clutter folder. Save, yes, okay. Let's go again, guys. So envious because I'm sure I'm not 100% confident, but I'm pretty confident that like in actual Bethesda land in their studio when they're all just trying to work on this stuff, they probably have like a live preview of how it looks in the game, and not this creation kit stuff where it has different lighting than what you actually see in the game, because I swear to God. Oops. It is slightly different and it annoyed me. We've been through that when I was trying to get the lighting just right. Unless they really do work on those conditions. And then I will, if that's the case, then I completely understand why this takes years and years and years to make. Because there's just so much time with like just checking things like this. It just eats up so much time. I mean, the nature of all this is going through a bunch of iterations, ideally as quickly as possible to nail something down that you really like, and then fully construct it. Okay. So it looks smoother, which is kind of nice. It looks so much darker and more vibrant than this thing right here. Which, I mean, if you wanted dark, got dark. There's a part of me that really wants to try the cherry red of the stained glass, and then there's a part of me that's like, that's probably going too far. But we've come this far anyway, so I might as well see what it looks like. And I want to, I think, fray the edges a little bit on these edges. Looks a little bit too clean. And that's something that, while these are supposed to be the newer banners, I think it should still kind of look a little bit worn and torn. And it has some slight fluctuations going on in these edges anyway, in terms of color, this muddled look that I need to clean up, or maybe with the fraying edges it will work better. And I'm liking the orangey brown smoke less and less. It works pretty well for the ones that are further away like this, but it doesn't seem to do any favors to break up and make the hand pop nicely. I mean, it's not bad by any means, but yeah, still unsatisfied. But I wasn't really particularly satisfied with any of the other colors, so it's par for the course. But yeah, this is green looking pixelization here. Gotta fix that. And I know we're dealing with the smaller scale, so you're gonna end up with pixels. But we just want to minimize that as much as possible. Now this looks very much almost like black in game. Little dangly bits. Yeah, there's not really actually too much we can do with that. Just because it's the way the game engine's rendering it anyway. Okay, well, we'll fray those edges. In the alpha, and try one more pass at making this something interesting. Yeah. Because if you saturate that more, it's gonna make the hand look less red overall. Oh no. Not feeling it. Maybe just bring down the opacity on these. See how that looks. Take a look at our alpha here. Now, I do have a backup here because of this, so I feel okay, more or less. Coming over here. I want to take this color and maybe not the noise brush. We're gonna have to play around a little bit. I know what I'm gonna do. It feels more comfortable to play around with like the layers section. So I'm gonna fold this up and I'm gonna make a new folder. And I'm going to mask it so it stays in that area. We don't want to go outside of it. Do alpha edges. I want to go back in here to our alpha that we're working with, and it's this very distinct color of gray. You can just close that out. And I'm gonna just fill it. Oh, no, screwed it up here. We're gonna have to do that whole copy what I see stuff. Yeah, probably. All right. Just want that gray. Photoshop, and you're gonna let me have it. Again. No, wrong way. Cool. So I want that. Make a new layer and fill that in. So now we have basically a copy of our alpha channel that I can just paint away with as I please and have other layers to work with, and once I'm satisfied I can copy it over. Just gives me a better space to kind of experiment. It's a little bit annoying trying to wrangle with the thing, but it's worth it. Yeah, that's not gonna be... How about our natural brush? I kind of want to, and it's like really messy right now because I want to make this faded nicely before I really make the tassels themselves. Well, not tassels, but the frayed edges, bringing back in the gray. Because if you can see this line too easily, it kind of makes it look weird. Zarlark made it rain! Like these inner parts I want to be easily defined at all times, but the outer edge, kind of keeping it like it goes into a fade is kind of where I'm at right now. what I assume will look good. And I'm using the texture brush rather than just like an airbrush or something, just because it's going to help blend better when I texture the gray back in. And this is all just general assumptions based on general critical thinking and history. I don't know how good it will actually look. I'll have to like check when I'm in game and really figure it out from there. Always just figure it out as I go. But for some reason in my head, when I'm in the game and I'm looking at the banner next to the Yuvaskar one, it feels too weighty, too solid for some reason. And as much as I want to make a Dark Brotherhood asset collection that has its own identity, like clarity of identity, I need it to make sure that it like works with the rest of the Skyrim assets. Like it could be a vanilla asset. That's kind of difficult because I feel like working with styles, I can like kind of get it in my head, but it doesn't mean that I'm really gonna match another style perfectly. I hardly even know what my style really is, so it's okay. I'm gonna bring down my flow and my opacity. No. Yeah, we'll see about this one. Because I remember I had simplified these just so that like it wouldn't be so visually like, oh my gosh, there's a lot going on. I don't think this brush is working for me. Do I have fur brushes? That could work out real well. I mean, I know I have fur brushes on my well, pretty sure I have fur brushes on my computer. Doesn't look like I have it in my library. I really need to use the whole folder system, because that'd be so great, rather than my old way of organizing. Where's my load here? I just want to load them. Not seeing it. Alright, I guess they don't do that anymore. Maybe just import them. Question to all. When playing Skyrim, do you prefer long, uninterrupted sessions or something else? It really depends on my mood. Personally, like, sometimes I can only sit down and play a game for a little while anyway. It doesn't even matter really what the game is. It's just I needed like a second. I remember distinctly during college I would spend hours and hours and hours and hours on Skyrim, so yeah, see, I was just gonna append it. It's not exactly what I wanted, but whatever. Ooh, it has a folder. Oh, I was hoping it would do that, but I wasn't super sure. Perfect. Oh, that's better. That is so much better. We can blend with that. Use fur brushes are killer. Person who made them is just amazing. I can't remember their name off the top of my head, but I'll have to share them on the Discord. They just make it so much easier to do things like this. And fur especially, to make it look realistic. I did one study that I made look hyper realistic, and normally I'm not that good or that patient to make a character look super hyper realistic, but I was really able to with these brushes, making the animal look like it was real. It was great. I know it was a close-up of the face and everything, so, but yeah. This was kind of what I was looking for, so now I can really see if this is gonna work or not. It depends on the day for me, at least. Yeah. The only thing that tends to interrupt my Skyrim sessions is to crash the desktop. Yeah, that's the price you pay. Like, you can have a completely customized game, everything you ever wanted, but there's a catch. And I say that assuming, it's a big assumption, that if you just wanted to play vanilla at this point, it's pretty much stable with unofficial batches. That's down a little. Hopefully this will look pretty good, and then I'll be able to make a mental. I don't know if it will look perfect for the banner per se, but like as far as making the little tassels, because then I can save that knowledge for when I'm working on the carpets and be like, okay, I know how to just make this work really nice in terms of the transparency map. Got this. Clean up these edges here. Now I need to go into this folder, and we have our little dangles. Go back up here, select inverse so we get this area, and I should be able to just do that. So this is, I don't know. Yeah. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Gross. Okay. Alright, tricky, but I got you. Number. Select inverse. Delete. There we go. Oh, it's still got those edges there. Okay. Just gonna go carefully around. Actually, I should be able to just select this now. There we go. Alright, well that took a little bit more effort than needed to be. But it looks like our alpha's ready to go. Finally. Alright, get rid of our palette. Oh, I guess I don't have to really just do that. Copy. And in our alpha, we go paste. Still have those little fringed edges, isn't it? Just can't get away from that. Well, look how nice and smooth that is. Well, that's being a jerk. Okay, well. Paint it all black again. And then paste. It's gonna have its little edges there, but I don't want to accidentally get rid of the door in any way, so that should be pretty safe. Now it's all clean. Now I can just paste it in and not have those edges again. And then I'm going to find out this isn't going to work at all. File, save. File, save as a DDS file. And textures, clutter, and there's our door. We're gonna save that up and jump into the game and see how this, not desaturated, but lower opacity designs work. The hand pops enough now, because it really, I think it pops plenty, but in game it's just, I don't know, I don't like it. And we'll see how the edges are. The rest of it seems pretty good. And here I thought that, I was like, all right, we've got our banner, now we can go in next session and work on the other things. That's not me, that's not how I roll. Everything in its time. And possibly not even then. For some reason I thought I spelled that wrong. Sometimes my hands just move and I'm like, oh wait a minute, did I do that correctly in my brain? That muscle memory though. If only I stuck with piano. Could have ended up like that too. It was weird too, like when I was playing piano, and to a certain extent on the keyboard when I'm typing, I need to, I guess on the piano it's a little bit different because it's like there's text and words compared to music, but like I can't think about what I'm doing in order to do it. So I was never really good with the drums because I would always like end up thinking about what I was doing and then I would get the tempo off. It's really weird. So the piano I really had to like clear my mind and kind of zen out. Which is incredibly soothing. Oh my goodness. This does not have like soft alpha at all. It's like a GIF or GIF or whatever you want to call it. It either exists or it doesn't. That's crazy. That's gotta be something in the NIF itself. You know? Maybe not. I mean, that's not smooth at all. Whoop. Whoop. I thought it would do smooth. Like it must do smooth alpha on certain things. I don't hate this, but I don't know how I feel about it being so harsh. So harsh. It's like it went through a blender. It's like, hey, can we get new Dark Brotherhood banners? Yeah, sure, at a discount. Why? Well, you know, they could have been transported a little bit better than they actually were. Yeah, I got attacked by an angry Khajiit, right? Yeah. No, I actually have plans for the old banners. Funnily enough, you should mention that, Zarlark. And I mean, this kind of transparency should work pretty well for that. Be very interesting to see it. That wasn't the intention for these. Anyway, the hand seems to pop pretty nicely. The colors are very rich. And I say that, I'm like, oh man, the color's so saturated. And then I look at this on the wall next to the stained glass, I'm like, it's not really. Could be a little bit more. It's just, I made these too colorful. Hold on. I'm sorry you have to deal with the awful frame rate because OBS is a horrible, horrible thing. It's not, it's lovely, but it's totally fighting with Skyrim lately and I don't know why. I mean, it generally works with the aesthetic of the place. That whole dark look. Dark banner. I think that red looks red enough from here. I suppose, really, that's what matters. Is that it looks good like that. These little areas. Around the castle, the sanctuary. Alright, so what am I gonna do about these tassels? I mean, I could look in the NIF and figure out if there's more smooth transparency available to me. I know that that's a thing, especially since the stained glass are partially transparent. It's not an on or off, you know? It's very, very, very subtle at this point. but it is there. You can see the dirt. Yeah, so you can see it pretty well over here. You can see the dirt behind this. And that I think I was fiddling around with the NIF with the alpha node. So I guess I have to make a note to go into the mesh for this, the non-animated one that I downloaded. Check its alpha node, compare it to what I did with the stained glass to make sure that it can have subtler alpha to it. Get that in game, and then edit it from there. Yeah, alright, well. Chores for me to do. And we have 5 more minutes left. So, what I'm gonna do is go into my folder, go to my current work in progress. I'm going to grab this, put it in here just so I can kind of keep track of the iterations, because I find that interesting part of the process of like where we started from and where we ended up. Just interesting. Save that. I kind of wish I had done it for the previous one with the orangey look, but it is what it is at this point. And now I can do it. You thought I forgot? I didn't think you forgot. I thought you were busy watching children, so it was just like on mobile can't. Well, I mean, I guess on mobile you could have if you really want to. I just get my yawns in now. Alright, so I need to make a note. And I was gonna look at the NIF, but with the exercise it kind of makes it like I won't have enough time. I don't even know where I put. Oh, I know what I need to do before I forget. It is easier on PC. I need to export this as the DDS file. It's a copy. And put it in my integrated assets folder. Oh, so I do technically have a copy of that. You know what? I'm going to grant my own wish here. How lovely. That's what we had originally. Copy that. Need to exercise and make it rain. I know. I just want to quickly put this in here. Oh, dang it. Come on now. Copy it. Paste it. Oh, it's not listening. Come on. Come on. Okay, good. It's finally listening now. Sometimes it takes a little while. Just going to make it fully opaque. Get rid of the door. Yeah, I'll put it there. So really we just mostly darkened it and definitely made it more red. Yeah. Outside of the game, it almost is like this is kind of better because you can see more of what's going on. It's lighter, but in-game this looks better to me. And you can see the highlight of the hand making it stand out because that's a really important feature. Anyway, save, close. Now I need to export these into the integrated assets. I can get rid of that. No. But here you can tell the difference. We have the proof colors on. Save as, I know, phone. Oops. That's a lot of sound. Integrated assets, textures, as a copy, as a DDS file. Here we go. Save. I do want to replace it. Say yes. I don't actually have to keep doing that every time, but I do. Open this. Low transparency as alpha channel is very important to do. This is old though. Oh, okay, this is, okay, that's fine. We want this one. File, save as DDS file as a copy. And in here we go. So now we have the new normal map and the new texture map in-game, or diffuse map, whatever, as well as having it in my integrated assets folder to keep track of what I've put in the Skyrim data folder, just throwing it in there, because I don't really have a mod manager to take things out and in. I had tried to do that for a little while, and that's what caused me to lose like probably more than 8 hours worth of work on the actual level design, cell design, so just trying to keep my 2 separate copies on my own terms. Alright. Now we will make it rain. There you go. And before I end the stream, I guess I have to exercise, because you paid for that. Alright. Squats it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And it's actually, this one is evil. It's actually pretty good having the exercises, honestly. It can be kind of annoying when I'm in the middle of work, but overall it's like pretty important because you're sitting at the computer for like 2 hours. And normally when I'm not streaming and I'm doing work, I try to get up fairly frequently to like just stretch. Not so much do like the exercises, but just like even in my seat sometimes. I even do it on stream where I'll just stretch for a moment because it's pretty important. Alright. On that note, thank you guys for hanging out with me, talking and conversing. Love it. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. Maybe you learned something. Who knows? I should probably do that. I don't do that. I say that's gym time. I mean, going to the gym, having like a designated time to do actual exercise and cardio and stuff, that's important. And I should probably do more of that because I do yoga, but probably not enough and yada, yada, yada. But just if you spend a lot of time at the computer, whether it's for hobbies or for work, it's pretty important to like keep yourself loose and not stiffen up and stuff. So just having a moment to just be in the moment, step back from what you're doing, because we tend to just really tunnel vision into we're in the computer. Just step back, stretch, be in your body for a moment. Anyway, so yeah, check the Discord if you have not. Check the events tab on this Twitch channel to know what we'll be streaming next. I think Chillfest is kind of maybe on a hiatus for the moment. This week is canceled. Lucky and Talented is supposedly still on. I'm gonna try to push for that. And the rest of the schedule's pretty normal. We have our ESO on Wednesday. And on Thursday, it's just going to be a variety day where I'm going to try to finish up The Basement is Calling, finish up the demo for A Dragon Named Cole, and then play some random game that we have on the random list. Actually, I might play Far Cry Primal, because I've been really digging it, and if you guys haven't played it yet, you might like it, so having a little bit of a demo might be a good thing, because it's on sale currently. Yeah, so if you have any comments or feedback about the stream, you can share them by using the feedback links on the Twitch info panel or the Ravey Text channel in the Discord. And welcome to the follow club. Oh, they're... Okay. Alright. The real Argon. You followed the other day. And I didn't know because I wasn't streaming live. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I did get Far Cry Primal, yeah. Yeah, it's been great. I'm playing the original version of it, like, when it first came out. I'm not playing the survivor mode yet because I wanted to experience essentially vanilla first, get used to the controls. I'm basically a Terminator. Like, you're running around, superhuman, you don't need sleep, you don't need food, you're just killing things and taming animals. But I like it in this version as just a simple collectathon and within a primal setting. I dig it. And once I kind of get used to how the game flows, going into survival mode, I think will be pretty satisfying too, as a rerun. So it does have replayability in that sense. And actually it was permadeath. I was intrigued by that. I don't know how brutal survivor mode is going to be. Also, I'm happy to follow. It's been really chill stream. I like it. Excellent. That's what I try to provide. All right. I should get ready for D&D. So on that note, as always, from my heart to yours, good luck.